Grandpa, does it ever feel like nothing you do actually matters?
She is only 15. But when she asked me that yesterday, her eyes, they look like old eyes. Flat, empty, exhausted. It felt like ice water in my veins. It stopped my breath. I am sitting here now in my study. It's 3 p.m. The afternoon sun is warm on my face. There is no noise here, just the slow dancing of dust motes in the golden light. I am holding this cheap, chipped white coffee mug, trying to stop my hands from shaking, because when she spoke, I didn't see a teenager. I saw myself. She is drowning in the same lie that almost killed me 50 years ago. And if you are watching this, looking at your phone, feeling heavy, feeling behind, I think you are drowning in it too. I need you to listen to me. Please, don't scroll away. I don't have much time left to tell you this. I close my eyes, and I am not 87 anymore. I am 39. I am sitting in a cold car, parked outside a bar on the edge of town. It is raining. The windshield wipers are slapping back and forth, thwack, thwack, thwack like a metronome counting down the seconds of my failure. My business was bleeding out. The creditors were calling my house every 3 hours. I hadn't slept in days. My chest felt tight, like there was an iron band crushing my ribs. Under the passenger seat, I had a bottle. That was my only medicine. I looked at myself in the rearview mirror. I didn't see a man. I saw a bad investment. Back then, I worshipped the God of the extraordinary. I truly believed that if I wasn't a millionaire, if I wasn't a visionary, if I wasn't crushing it, then I was trash. I thought life was a binary system. You are either a legend or you are a loser. There was no middle ground. The noise, God, the noise. The world screamed at me. Be special. Be great. Leave a legacy. I was chasing a version of myself that didn't exist. I wanted the applause. I wanted the spectacle. I wanted strangers to know my name because I was terrified that if they didn't, I would disappear. I was working 80 hours a week to build an empire of sand. I missed dinners. I missed my son's baseball games. I was physically present, but my spirit was somewhere else, calculating assets, strategizing wars that no one else was fighting. I was right, and I was alone. I sat in that car, listening to the rain, and I thought, I am nothing. I have achieved nothing. Therefore, I am nothing. I was ready to drive away. Not home, just away. When my granddaughter looked at me with those empty eyes, waiting for an answer, I couldn't speak. My throat closed up, because I realized she was judging herself by the same scorecard that almost destroyed me. She thinks she has to be a planet. She doesn't realize it is enough to be gravity invisible, but holding things together. The memory of that night in the car came rushing back. The rain, the whiskey under the seat. I was moments away from starting the engine and disappearing. I had convinced myself that my family would be better off without a failure like me. Then, a knock on the glass. Tap, tap, tap. I jumped. I rolled down the window, expecting a police officer. It wasn't. It was Tom. Tom wasn't a CEO. He wasn't extraordinary. He was just a guy I played cards with sometimes. He drove a dented Ford. He wore clothes that were 10 years out of style. He saw my face. He saw the tears I hadn't wiped away. He didn't ask about my business. He didn't offer me a loan. He didn't give me a motivational speech about hustle or mindset. He just shivered in the rain and said, "George, it's cold out here. Come inside. I'm buying." I wanted to say no. My ego wanted to hide. But he waited, so I got out. We sat in a booth with cracked vinyl seats. He ordered 2 black coffees. I looked at that mug. It was chipped, just like the one I'm holding now. The coffee was bitter. It was too hot. It burned my tongue. But as the steam hit my face, I felt the iron band around my chest loosen, just a fraction. Tom didn't try to fix me. He just sat there. He talked about the baseball game. He talked about his roof leaking. He treated me like a human being, not a net worth statement. That coffee cost $1. In the grand scheme of the universe, that transaction was invisible. It didn't make the news. It didn't scale. It wasn't disruptive. But that $1, it bought me another day. And that day turned into a week. And that week turned into 48 more years of life. I looked at my granddaughter and I wanted to scream. The world tells her she needs millions of followers to be valid. But Tom saved a man's life with 12 ounces of burnt coffee and 20 minutes of silence. That was the crash. The moment the god of grandeur died, I realized I had spent my life trying to build a monument when all I really needed was a chair to sit in and a friend who wouldn't leave. I didn't sell my company the next day. I didn't move to a monastery. Life doesn't work like the movies. But something inside me quieted down. I resigned from my position as the general of the universe. I stopped trying to conquer the day and I started trying to just inhabit it. I call it the ministry of presence. It sounds fancy, but it is actually very small. It is the art of being right here, nowhere else. Let me tell you what that looks like. It's not a TED Talk. It's not a viral video. It looks like the summer my grandson, Leo, was 7. He was terrified of the swimming pool. The old George the George from the car would have been embarrassed. I would have stood on the edge, shouting instructions. "Come on, be a man. It's just water. Don't be soft." I would have tried to fix him, because his fear would have hurt my ego. But the new George, I just got in the water. I didn't say a word. I didn't look at him. I just stood in the shallow end, waist deep. I felt the cool water on my skin. I smelled the chlorine and the cut grass. I watched a dragonfly hover over the surface. I stood there for 15 minutes, just breathing, just being a steady post in a shifting world. And slowly, inch by inch, Leo came down the steps. He waded over to me. He didn't say anything. He just reached out and held my hand. His little grip was tight. He was shaking. We stood there together for a long time. I didn't teach him to swim that day. I didn't make him brave, but I made him safe. And that felt better than any deal I ever closed. That was $1 million moment, and it cost me nothing but time. It changed how I saw everyone. I started going to the grocery store, not to buy milk, but to see people. There was a cashier there, Sarah. She always looked tired. Gray skin, heavy eyes. The old me would have been tapping my foot, checking my watch, annoyed that she was scanning the items too slowly. Hurry up, I'm important. But one Tuesday, I really looked at her. I saw the way her shoulders slumped. I asked her, "Sarah, how are you holding up?" And I didn't look at my phone. I waited. She stopped scanning. She looked up, surprised that I used her name. Her eyes welled up. She told me her mother was sick. She told me she was working double shifts to pay for the meds. I didn't offer her money. I didn't give her advice. I just listened. I let her be human for 2 minutes in the middle of a transaction. When I left, she smiled, a real smile. I walked to my car feeling lighter than air. I realized that I had the power to change the texture of someone's day just by slowing down. And then there is the silence of my home. This morning, my wife and I were in the kitchen. We'd been married 52 years. We were just washing berries for breakfast. The tap was running, the water was cold, the strawberries were bright red in the white colander. She handed me a bowl. Our fingers brushed. We didn't speak. We didn't need to. In that silence, there was a whole history. The arguments we survived, the children we raised, the grief we shared. It was so ordinary. A young person would look at it and see boring. They would see nothing happening. But I stood there, eating a strawberry, tasting the sweetness, feeling the sun on the back of my neck. And I thought, this is it. This is the heaven everyone is searching for. It's not at the top of the mountain. It's here, in the kitchen, in the Tuesday afternoon light. I looked at my granddaughter yesterday. After the silence stretched out, I took her hand. It was cold. I said, "Sweetheart, you are asking if you matter. You think you matter only if you are a firework, big, loud, bright for 2 seconds and then gone." I pointed to this chipped mug on my desk. "Be the cup," I told her. The cup doesn't scream. It doesn't shine. It just holds the warmth. It is useful. It is constant. And when you are cold, it is the most important thing in the world. She started to cry. But they weren't the heavy tears of despair. They were the release tears. The tears of putting down a heavy backpack after a 10-mile hike. She hugged me, and for the first time in months, she didn't feel like a ghost. She felt solid. That is the peace of the present. I am 87. My knees hurt. I walk slow. My world has shrunk to this house, this garden, this study. But I have never been happier because I stopped trying to be extraordinary. And finally, I became free. Now, I need you to look at me. Put the phone down on the table, just for a second, and listen. You don't need a heart attack to wake up. You don't need to be 87 to realize that the race you are running has no finish line. Stop waiting for the big moment to validate your existence. It isn't coming. And if it does, it won't feel the way you think it will. Your life doesn't have to be extraordinary to matter. Matter starts the moment you stop performing and start connecting. It is found in the text message you send to a friend you haven't seen in years. It is found in the patience you show to your child when you are exhausted. It is found in the quiet, invisible work of being a good person when no one is watching. Go be the chipped mug. Hold the warmth for someone else. The world has enough stars. What we are starving for is humans. I cannot live your life for you. But I can tell you this. The only thing you will care about at the end is how well you loved. If you know someone who is running too fast, someone who is drowning in the pressure to be special, please send this to them. Tell them it's okay to stop. Don't wait. I know the noise is deafening out there. I know you feel the weight of invisible eyes watching you, judging your speed, measuring your worth against people you will never meet. You are exhausted because you are carrying a burden that does not belong to you. The burden of being memorable. But sitting here in the quiet gravity of my 87th year, I can promise you this. Death is the great clarifier. When the final curtain falls, the applause stops instantly. The titles on your business card dissolve. The accolades you sacrificed your sleep for will rot just as fast as the flesh on your bones. History is a relentless river, and it washes away emperors and paupers alike. The universe does not care if you were a CEO or a gardener. It does not care if you disrupted the industry. It only cares if you were real. The only things that survive the fire of time are the things you gave away. The patience you showed a child. The silence you shared with a grieving friend. The warmth you held for a stranger. These are the only assets that do not depreciate. So, please, put down the heavy armor of ambition for a moment. Detach yourself from the obsession with the outcome. Stop trying to build a legacy that will outlast the sun. You are missing the miracle of the breath in your lungs right now. Here is my request to you for today. When you turn off this video, find one persona clerk, a neighbor, or your own partner and look at them. I mean, really look at them until you see the human behind the function. Ask them how they are and listen as if it is the most important news in the world. Be the chipped mug. Hold the warmth. You are not required to save the world. You are only required to love the part of it you can touch.